Hello everyone. Welcome to the Christmas special episode of the Clueless Internet podcast.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Episode 13.
Happy,
The unlucky number. Oh no.
Happy holidays.
Happy Halloween. I've gathered some more facts, fakes, and fuck-ups for us today to go over the winter holiday period.
The Festivus.
I'm your host, Alex. I'm joined once again by my wonderful co-host, Howard.
Hello.
Hello. First of all, we'd just like to thank everyone who's been listening to us over the past 6-7 months, I think it is now, episode 13, technically 14, we've got a two-parter in there, but we just want to thank everyone who's been listening to our little ramblings over the internet.
You strange people.
Yeah, oh God.
What are you doing with your lives?
What are we doing? Shout out to everyone in Michigan, California, the UK who have been listening to us the most.
And the one person who listened to us in Australia and then never came back.
Thanks, dude. We've had people in Texas, New South Wales, which is Australia, Spain, and Romania. We're getting around.
Getting around town.
Getting around.
Doing the raids.
Like your mother.
Oh, excuse you.
Excuse me. And with that, thank you out the way, let's get on to our first section. Today I learned, Christmas edition.
Sit down and shut up.
Today,
Shut up.
shut up, Riley.
Sit down. Be quiet. Shut up.
All right, Howard. Welcome to our first section. Today I learned, where I've actually lessened the amount of facts that I've got for you today. I've only got 3, but they are pretty long ass.
It's our
facts for
gift to you. Oh.
It's our gift to you. We are the 3 ghosts. The Christmas past.
Did the ghosts bring gifts?
Christmas.
Or did they just come
No.
to fuck shit up?
No, we had to kick
They
them
just
out.
come to fuck shit up.
We had to
It's
kick
the
them
3
out.
wise men that bring the gifts. Fucking wise asses.
Too wise for us. But anyway, the first of the 3 facts that I have for you today is today I learned about the jolliest hero. Do you want to have a little guess?
Jolliest hero.
The jolliest hero.
Bum, 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 bum,
We're
bum.
of course talking about Santa Claus.
Oh, I was going to say the Flash.
We're of course talking about Santa Claus from Earth 616.
Oh, he is actually in the Marvel universe, isn't
If
he?
you're
Yeah.
a Marvel fan, like I assume Howard is, I'm a fan of the cinematic universe, not so much the comics, but I have been dabbling in a little bit throughout the Wikipedia. So yeah, we're talking about the Santa Claus of the Marvel universe.
Well, you can tell the difference because Marvel call it universe and DC focus on Earth. So they'll say Earth 36.
Yeah.
Not universe 161 or 13 or...
So he's from Earth 616,
Yeah.
which is the
Is that the same universe as Future Spider-Man? Or am I thinking of someone else? Who else is in
I'm
616?
not sure.
Oh, wait, no, isn't 616 the official
616 is
universe
the
of
normal.
Spider-Man?
616 is sort of like
universe.
our universe.
It's the default, yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Well, no,
default
they've
universe.
clarified in the Marvel before that our universe exists in that universe, but the, the heroes don't have powers. They're actors who play superheroes.
That's kind of smart. That's where the actor Spider-Man
They
comes
showed
in.
it in Secret Wars, where essentially Spider-Man meets the actor who plays Spider-Man from our universe, and he's completely useless because he's not actually Spider-Man.
No, you're not Tobey Maguire. I love you.
Which I'm still hoping that they do a Secret Wars movie at some point with this new Tom Holland Spider-Man.
And I
Because
hope
now they've...
that Tobey Maguire is in there somewhere.
Well, they can actually use some of the characters from there now. I mean, unfortunately, Stark's dead, and he's one of the characters from
Spoilers.
Secret Wars. Spoilers. But Hulk was in Secret Wars, I think. Storm was in Secret Wars. There was a bunch of other characters, so it would be...
From the X-Men.
Captain America was in Secret Wars.
He could... Spoiler, could come back.
I don't think he wouldn't. I don't think he would say no to the occasional small appearance in the Marvel universe. I just don't think he wants to come back. I don't think any of them want to come back to headline
As a full movie.
Yeah, I think some of them probably wouldn't mind the odd cameo, but I don't think any of them are coming back for a...
Pretty sure Robert Downey Jr. is pretty flipping expensive at this point as well.
Oh, he outpriced himself. That's probably why they killed him.
So when's the next movie? Sorry, Robert. But let's move on to... we don't want to talk about any of those heroes, my favourite Spider-Man. We don't want to talk about any of those. And I've actually cut Spider-Man out of this. We'll get on to it. I've cut Spider-Man
There's a whole
from this.
thing that would have made the story longer.
Yeah. Infinitely longer than it already is. So Santa Claus in the universe 616 is actually a creation and amalgamation of 3 legendary beliefs. So he is a person, but I'll get onto it. So our first legendary character is Saint Nicholas, who you may be aware of. He was a Turkish bishop in Myra, and I'm assuming this is all Marvel universe sort of stuff.
I always thought he was more of a Nordic character.
We've got one.
Be wrong.
We've got one. So Saint Nicholas, he was a Turkish bishop from Myra who was known for being very generous, kind, and loving to children. He was believed to have appeared in Emperor Constantine's dream to save 3 wrongfully accused soldiers from execution. So he's a pretty good guy.
They're on my good list.
Get them off the chopping list.
Or you'll be on my naughty list.
Spank.
I can only, whenever I think of Santa, I can only hear, I think it was John Goodman in Futurama, the Santa Claus from the robot one.
Oh, the robot one.
You're on my naughty list.
Have my tow missile.
Oh, my tow missile.
I love that in the elevator.
Fry, you've been a very naughty boy.
Have a present.
Who was
love
the
it.
good one now? Who got the present? It was Zoidberg, wasn't it? Something stupid.
Yeah. Or it might have been Scruffy.
Or Scruffy.
Somebody.
Scruffy.
I love Christmas. He also brought back 3 beheaded children to sailors who had lost them. I don't know the
he brought back the
logistics.
their actual. He didn't just bring their heads back. I thought it was a very
he bought them.
grim-looking Christmas card of
Merry
Santa Claus.
Christmas. I've carved the words in the back of a skull, if you want to turn it around. He also tried to give money anonymously to a family that could not afford their dowries for their daughters to get married. So if you don't know, dowries are sort of what the daughter's family give to the husband's family to sort of say, marry my daughter or something. In the olden times.
In the olden times, kind of solidifying the...
Yeah.
And I'm going to use the word transaction.
Here's my sacrifice.
Yeah.
Do you take cash or card?
I'll take a wife.
Yeah, thanks. He eventually...
Merry Christmas.
Here's a head. He eventually ended up just tossing bags of gold into their house and even dropped one down the chimney.
Killing a small child.
Killing one of the daughters,
And thus
the wives
Christmas
to
was
be.
born.
Merry Christmas! After his death, a church was built in his name, and Emperor Vladimir of Russia made Nicholas the patron saint of Russia hundreds of years later when he got told of the story. So the day before his death on December 5th became the day to give presents. So the day before his death, which would have been... So he died on December 6th. I think that became the day of giving gifts, which eventually got linked to Christianity, which sent it to the 25th.
Well, what Christianity did was it took pagan, basically, as it was trying to phase pagans out, it basically went, what days do you celebrate? The 25th? That's when Jesus died.
We'll add a 20 to that.
What's your other main one? Easter? That's when Jesus came back to life from the dead.
What's this Halloween?
Yeah, so they basically just picked all the best holidays and went, that's a coincidence. That's when our holidays are.
Jesus did something then, I swear it.
Yeah, when it's like, he was probably born in like fucking July or something. And
Probably
died
July.
middle of August or something boring.
I mean, it wouldn't be boring if we knew it. Then it would be Christmas in August, and it would be a lot fucking warmer. But with that one out of the way, that's our first one. So we got Saint Nicholas.
Yeah.
Boom, lock him in as one of our figures. The second one is Odin.
What's he got to do with Santa?
Well, he's the All-Father of Asgard, as you may know, in the Marvel and Greek. Is it Greek mythology? Or is it Roman?
That's definitely Nordic. Those Thor.
Oh, yeah.
It's the
course it is.
the Viking gods, Valhalla and everything like that.
Of course it is. So on one night, he saved a midwinter's feast from not happening.
Oh no.
an Asgardian troll named Grylak the Greater.
Grylak the Great.
Grylak the Greater. Oh, it could be great. I might have just chopped off that ER. We'll say Grylak the Great.
Greater than what?
Himself.
Greater than you.
He attempted to blackmail Odin, so he's like, yeah, I'm greater than you, and threatened to destroy Asgard with a huge asteroid if he did not gain control of it.
Where are you going to get a fucking asteroid from, you pleb?
Walmart, maybe. Space
Shut
Walmart.
up, Odin. You don't know nothing about me.
Take this asteroid.
All the
Just a
gods
little
pick
pebble.
on me.
Just a little pebble he's thrown.
Turns out Asgard's this big.
It's like, oh, it's really tall. A fisherman called Sigurd was sailing home and got stuck because of a storm. His wife Sia prayed to Odin to help her husband. Odin sent Thor to attack Grylak, and but only after gathering the finest wines, linens, and food. He then hurled Mjolnir at the asteroid. So Grylak's been taken care of. The asteroid's been taken care of. It was destroyed in a huge flash of light in the sky, allowing Sigurd and his crew to find their way home. Later that night at Sigurd's village, Sia heard a noise in her front room. She ran to her hearth, sort of like the fireplace, and saw an unknown man. It was Odin. He was holding a bundle and wearing furs. He vanished in a flash of light again, leaving behind the goods that Thor collected. So all those fine wines, linen, food, all that, he left it just in a heap.
Give this to my baby.
Pow, pregnant, and just left.
Bye-bye.
Then Sigurd returned home, and they saw Odin riding a sleigh driven by 2 flying rams, and cried out, "A good midwinter to all, and to all a good life."
I thought it was just going to go, holy shit, flying rams.
Where am I going? Thor! And then he just... and a light just goes up. So that's our second one. So we've got St. Nicholas, we've got Odin locked in. Ka-ching. And now we've got our last one, Old Winter. That was a pre-medieval British belief. Ooh. So
was it like Old Lady Winter or just Old Winter?
Just Old Winter.
Not a new one. It's the old one.
Not that,
back again. Fucking
I
hell.
think we can afford New Winter. It was custom among the tribes in Britain that the elders of the community would dress up in furs and become the character Old Winter. So they would go house to house delivering food and drink and stuff like that. If people were hospitable to Old Winter, the winter season would be kind to them. So it's sort of like give and take.
Yeah. So
I mean, there's no reason to not be hospitable to him. He's giving you food and drink.
It's just purely symbolic. It's symbolic. They're basically just going, here's an opportunity to do good so we don't all die.
There you go.
Be good.
You'll
please.
eat this winter if you're nice to me. Imagine having that much power.
What a fucking great spiel.
Dick. Oh, yeah.
That's one way to get free meal. If you're nice to me, right, the winter won't kill you this year.
So I've given you 1 bottle of wine and at least 3 hams. I expect 3 and 7 in return.
I expect at least 3 of my relatives to live.
Just brings the heads. Oh, sorry, maybe next year.
Wrong God.
Yeah. Oh. So, this tradition went on for years and years. Old Winter, after the introduction of Christianity, eventually turned into Old Christmas, then to Old Father Christmas, and eventually to the one that we know now, Father Christmas. And those are.
So he's reversing in age, like Benjamin Button.
Yeah, his name's just getting less and less. So next it'll just be Christmas, and then it'll just be Muz, and then it'll just be.
And then we'll get, much like Baby Yoda, we'll get Baby Santa.
Oh my God.
And someone will have to journey him around the earth, delivering his presents for him.
Like a Mandalorian. Or someone of equal stature.
There you go, terrible movie studios. There's an awful movie. Someone hits Santa with a reverse ray, and then he's Baby Santa, and then someone has to take over as Santa.
It wouldn't surprise me if there's already one like that. I'm going to have to search that up after this, because if you can think
like
of a
Boss
Christmas
Baby,
music...
so you got like Santa Baby.
Oh my God.
And that's got the perfect title.
Santa Baby.
Santa
Baby.
Just call me Adam Sandler.
Okay, Adam. So with those 3, so now we've got them all locked in. We've got St. Nicholas, we've got Odin, and we've got Old Winter. With all these 3 beliefs mixed together with some spiritual energy, Santa Claus became real in the Marvel universe. I mean, and this universe, Santa's real. He initially set up his base in Finland's eastern frontier in Korvatuntori. Korvatuntori.
What was it?
Korvatuntori. Finland. He set it up in Finland.
He set it up in Finland.
where he delivered gifts on Christmas morning on horseback. So he's quite behind the times at this point.
So at the moment, he's a cowboy.
He's
Old West Santa Claus.
The old Santa cowboy. That's
Come
another
on,
film.
girl.
I'm waiting for the phone lines to ring. Cowboy Santa and Baby Santa. Santa Baby, sorry. So after he found a wife, Mrs. Claus, he moved to the North Pole where they established a workshop and put together a workforce of elves.
And shot the horses because it's too cold.
Yeah, just...
I got magical
I have no
reindeer.
need for you anymore. Glue it is. So these elves were descendants of light elves from Alfheim, one of the 10 realms of Asgard. So it's all keeping within Marvel.
Yeah.
So we all know the origin story of Santa and Rudolph and all that jazz. So I don't
That
think...
Christmas jazz.
Well, I don't think we need to get into that. It's much like the Spider-Man backstory. We
He
know.
gets bit by a radioactive elf.
Man.
and turns into a
A light elf.
Santa.
Oh.
The end.
Merry Christmas.
Origin over. Let's keep going.
That would be an awesome Spider-Man story. I would watch. So yeah, we already know about all the backstory. So I thought we'd move into some of the juicier stuff, like the time Adolf Hitler captured Santa to lower the morale of the U.S.
Well, when you said juicy, you weren't lying.
Yes. In World War, so this one's in World War II, obviously. Which is where President Roosevelt sent Nick Fury, Captain America, and Bucky Rogers to rescue him.
Oh, they had to send Captain America. Captain America always punches the Nazi.
Of course he does. And Santa. He accidentally just... oh, sorry. Naughty list.
Thought you were a Nazi.
You aren't, right? He's in red.
You're on my good list. Gotta go.
Bye!
Ho, ho, ho.
Heil, heil, heil.
Oh.
So he did escape, and I would like to see a movie of this. There weren't much further details on what happened, but I would like to see a movie of this, the Christmas escape on Marvel. Could do a what if, because they're doing a what if soon. Aren't they?
Yeah, they're doing the whole. It's in fact, hasn't Spider-Man got one of the episodes of What If? They're doing a Spider-Man episode with Tom Holland.
Well, I will definitely be watching that.
Pretty sure.
Is that on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait for that.
I don't know whether that's going to be because they've announced a lot of animated features for the What If though, so I don't know whether it's just going to be voiced by him or actually him.
I'll take either, to be honest. Get Tobey Maguire in there to voice someone. But so moving on from World War II, we're years later after the Cerebro, the mutant detecting computer. So
yes.
So the mutant.
Oh, I remember this actually from something. Doesn't Xavier connect with Saint Nick essentially?
Pretty much, yeah. So Cerebro, am I pronouncing
And
that
isn't
right?
he like one of the oldest mutants? It turns out he's not actually a hero; he's a mutant.
The computer detected
Yeah.
him as the most powerful mutant ever registered.
Next to Apocalypse,
Yeah,
I assume.
probably. Yeah.
In fact, hasn't Santa defeated Apocalypse in one of the stories? Oh, I'm going to stop talking.
He may
Sound
have.
like a massive nerd.
He may have. I don't have that on here, but he may have. So the being was also detected by Eunice the Untouchable, the Blob, the Toad, and Mastermind, aka the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. This resulted in the two fighting for some reason, I'm assuming to gain Santa Claus' signature, and was only stopped when Santa transformed the Brotherhood into inanimate toys, teleported the X-Men away, and wiped all their memories.
So he's Boo, basically.
Yeah, like
You into chocolate.
Oh, I'm not even going to attempt that voice. I'll butcher it.
I already did.
And and after all that, he made it snow after he left. So
It's not snow, it's the ashes of my fallen enemies.
just teleports away just in front of a child.
I mean, Merry Christmas.
Pulls his swastika on band up. They'll never catch me. The next one is Howard the Duck.
That's
Howard,
me.
That is you. Where Santa tried to modernize himself. He had a shorter beard and he would only clip on the bigger beard for Christmas. He stopped using reindeer because people getting pissed at him
Because
using
of animal
reindeer.
abuse.
Yeah, pretty much.
God.
And he started using steam.
He didn't whip them. He gave them like magical food, didn't he? It's like, isn't that the coolest thing ever? If you're,
true, yeah.
if you're a
and he's
boring ass reindeer,
spreading cheer to children all around the world.
it's just like, here's some magic drugs.
Abuse!
Fly me around the world.
Just feeding them mushrooms.
Basically.
True, but he stopped using the reindeers and started using steam. But then he got convinced to use oil.
Steam. So do you like have a steampunk sleigh.
Yeah, dude.
Stick with that. That's sick.
But he went to oil. He went to
Lame.
oil after a little bit. But Santa later opened a nuclear power plant and gas station in the North Pole.
To power
his ass.
My workshop needs an inside nuclear reactor. What?
Oh, it doesn't explode.
Hope it explodes.
Well, it did go well until Killer Watt came along, one of the villains, who was hired to work in the hot areas of the power plant.
I would have thought it'd been somewhere with high electrical charge, but okay.
Well, he got mutated. He got mutated and turned into the form resembling a light bulb. Then
Excuse me?
Then Santa brought in a
Do you mean he
convict,
just lit up like a light bulb or actually just turned into a light bulb?
more or less just turned into a light bulb, to be honest. A sentient light bulb.
Oh, dear.
The best villain I've ever heard. Step aside, Mysterio. And then Santa brought in a convict called Pinball Lizard for some reason.
The terrible phrase on Pinball Wizard.
Maybe.
No, it is.
Is it actually?
Yeah, well, Pinball Wizard's a Who song, isn't it?
Oh, no. Well, those two, Pinball Wizard and Kilowatt teamed up, and Kilowatt turned Pinball Wizard into an actual wizard. No, an actual lizard, and turned many of the elves into trolls. They also
who just started posting fucking dank memes into people's stories.
You've been shit, basically.
Here's a shit post.
Yeah, fuck you. Didn't even get coal. They also felt... The thing about this is I don't get the time chronologically because I assume that Santa would be kind of noticing that all of his elves are turned into trolls before going off to make his delivery because they filled Santa's sleigh just enough so he would crash. But what I'm just imagining him walking through the toy shop, everything's going everywhere, there's trolls fighting, he's just like, bye, and then just gets up and goes.
Do my rounds.
A bit noisier than usual. And he was destined to crash. The duo intended to take over Christmas as revenge for how society had treated them. Santa crashed in Cleveland, where he met Howard the Duck, who owned a taxi company and helped him refuel. And the pair, accompanied by a young Carol Starkowitz, headed for the North Pole. Santa, Howard, Carol, and the loyal elves... Toys animated by elf magic and a gun-toting elf called
I thought there were trolls at
Sunquist.
this point.
Well, some of them didn't. Some of them
okay.
must have evaded detection.
Quick retcon, plot's going weird. We need elves.
Yeah, there's just something we
There's
didn't
a
get.
few that he didn't get. Santa had them in his pocket.
They hid under the snow. And a gun-toting elf called Sunquist, who is originally from Florida, fought for the workshop. After driving out Pinball, they needed to stop the power plant from overheating and melting through the Arctic.
This is the most convoluted fucking
Antarctic.
story.
Yeah, well, this is the longest one. They had to stop the power plant from essentially melting through Antarctica and splitting the Earth into pieces. And so Pinball and Kilowatt reunited in the power plant or the nuclear power plant. I don't know how he escaped, but Pinball, he's got his ways. They released mutant seals,
Of
polar
course they
bears,
do. I mean, what else are you going to do? It's fucking Santa.
not soldiers. What's the point? Just
No. It's some mutant
seals.
walruses. Sorry, seals.
We'll just send out
I almost got my evil animals wrong.
normal enemies of each other. You just see the polar bears just gnaw through
It's
the
like
seals.
Marvel's got this massive fucking backlog of awesome fucking villains and heroes, and they go, mutant seals. Here's penguins with rocket
Oh my
launchers
God.
on their back.
Mutant seals, polar bears, penguins,
There's a
and
nod
whales.
to Batman.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'd love that penguin to come into it. And whales to stop the heroes. So
Whales?
So they had seals, polar bears, penguins, and whales. And the way that the
What the fuck are
Wikipedia
whales going to do?
hit from below, don't know. Just scare them off. Oh, God, what was that scary noise?
It's ghosts. North
Big
Pole ghosts.
blue ghosts.
Run away.
I didn't write this down, but I know I read the the Wikipedia page, and it said that they defeated the animals by sidestepping them. Which
I'm just imagining a bunch of people just fucking curb stomping cuddly animals now. What's happening?
No, well, I think they just sidestepped them and they went into the water.
Oh, they just went, oh!
Yeah, that's the way
This
it's written in the
story is
article. I hope
fucking
it's way more
terrible.
cooler.
It's
We're going to
not.
have to read this.
This story is
comic
already
book.
terrible. I'm pretty sure they just went, oh!
Yeah. Well,
And a
Howard's...
bunch of penguins fell in the water and they ran off.
How did that plan fail?
They've got maneuvers.
Who could have thought they would have gone to the water? Howard spared Pinball through the...
Yeah, I did.
Not spared. Sorry, I'll restart that one. Howard speared Pinball through
Yeah,
the
I
tail,
did.
and Sunquist shot Kilowatt through the head,
Oh, nice.
reverting the
Merry
mutants he had caused. Boom, 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 boom. So it reverted all the mutations that he caused, so all the elves were back to normal. And after that, Santa closed the nuclear power plant and promised to use solar power and organic fuels from now on.
I would have written it as Santa could never live with the crimes against humanity and the animal kingdom that he did so in this story, and turned into a drinker and died
And
in
made
a,
the animal kingdom
died in a
pay
gutter.
by enlisting more reindeer for a more powerful sleigh with more
Radioactive mutant reindeer.
abuse. Or, yeah.
Oh.
I'm evil. Our next one is She-Hulk. And he's in this story because he knows who's on the naughty and nice list. So Santa became sort of a great detective known as Nixon Christopher. And
So they
helped-
basically did Batman.
Fat Man. And he helped aid She-Hulk. She was working on a murder case and enlisted Santa to help find evidence. I don't know I don't know why he'd know where evidence is. Like, he just gets a name on a list and he goes, yep, he's pretty naughty. He probably did it. You wouldn't really know where any of the murder weapons were. So you could probably done this on your own, She-Hulk. But Santa was attracted to She-Hulk and started to hit on her.
He was.
Yeah.
How old, Santa?
Old. Pretty freaking old.
Stick to your lane, dude.
Yeah, stick to your age. So Santa was attracted to She-Hulk and he tried to hit on her before Mrs. Claus came along and was like, smacked him up and corralled him back. She also punished She-Hulk for having reindeer droppings all over her office. For some reason, what? She-Hulk's got some weird ass fetishes, dude.
husband was here.
I can tell. It fucking stinks.
There's poo everywhere.
That's his. Oh, no, it's the reindeers. It's the reindeers, I promise. No fooling me. I know a shit when I see one.
And there he is.
Oh,
Back to the North Pole with you.
bitch. So, before leaving Santa, I assume they solved the case, they cracked the case at this point. And before leaving, Santa gave She-Hulk a present to use on Christmas Day for something special.
Excuse me?
He gave her a dildo. No, she became trapped in the She-Hulk form, but once she opened the gift from Santa...
I thought she was always trapped in the She-Hulk form.
Well, I thought she could turn sort of in and out of it, but...
No, I thought she was trapped. Oh, did he give her the ability to come out of it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant it the other way around. I thought he had locked her into...
No, he's not that much of a...
She always was.
You didn't take my advances. Fuck you. Green.
Shrek forever.
Oh, hell yeah. But so, like, once she opened it, she was temporarily turned back into a human form so she could celebrate Christmas with her father.
Well, she had the caveats that Hulk never had, which was, like, she wasn't massively grotesquely out of proportion. She was just
She looked like a normal woman, but just painted green.
Yeah, she was a couple of inches higher, quite bulky and
In shape.
very, like, she was green but attractive. It was like she basically got all the best bits of being the Hulk.
I'd just love to have seen just Hulk, but they just drew a bit longer hair. That would have been amazing. So, after that one, we're heading back to Howard the Duck once again. With Santa becoming demoralized due to the lack of faith and belief in him, he sold his entire franchise to Hydra. I told you he's still a Nazi. About the same time, Howard the Duck agreed to become a mall Santa helper for Beverly Switzler. Beverly Switzler, if you know her.
I'm going to trust you.
You shouldn't. After one of the original helpers became injured, I think they fell down an elevator shaft or like
At the North Pole.
After Santa shut down everything. Hello. And one of Santa's elves recruited a number of the other Santa's helpers, which included not only Howard the Duck, Vito Claus, Bubba Claus, Santa...
Tell me Bubba Claus is Wolverine.
I don't think so.
Oh, damn it.
I don't know, actually. It didn't go into detail about who they actually are. Santa Clara, Claus Seatongue, I think it is, Sanity Claus, and Willy Lumpkin Claus.
Yeah, oh, God. What?
Their main mission was to stop Hydra from ruining Christmas. Howard and the recently orphaned Dionysus Finster...
Dionysus?
Dionysus? It might be Dionysus. Dionysus.
I only know that because of some Alan Watts lecture where he's talking about Dionysus.
Well, this is some orphan Dionysus Finster who latched on to Howard. They both set off for the North Pole. He smuggled her in for the mission. They convinced Santa to go back on his deal with Hydra and claim the North Pole once again. They managed to do it with the help of the helpers. They ran out the commando corps of the Hydra accountants, and Christmas was saved. For now, at least.
For new.
I did cut out a Spider-Man story. It was essentially just...
I think I know the Spider-Man one, to be fair.
Do you want to have a crack
I think
at it?
that was my introduction. No, God, no. But I think that was my introduction to Santa Claus being in the Marvel Universe. Was through some Spider-Man story.
And our last tie-in one is Deadpool. Have you seen this one?
Is this where Deadpool goes around and kills every hero in the Marvel Universe?
No.
Okay.
After not receiving gifts from Santa, a group of kids hired Deadpool to kill Santa. Once Deadpool arrived in the North Pole, he found out that an evil elf was stopping presents from getting out. So he killed the elf instead and headed home.
The end.
That is the end, yeah. So, after all I want to see if you've been paying attention. So,
I haven't.
Who are you? So, after all of those, I thought we'd talk about the powers that Santa Claus actually has in the Marvel universe. How many can you think of that we've talked about?
I'm trying to think of the one where... So, it's not omnipotence. Omniscience? Is that it?
Sort of everywhere and everything at the same time.
There's
Don't think it's that good.
No, that's omnipresence. There's omnipotence and omnipresence and omniscience. He's got one of them. He's got the one where essentially he can be in like a lot of places, like without, like technically the whole reindeer thing is something he doesn't need in the Marvel Universe. He can essentially be where he needs to be at whatever time he needs to be.
There is an explanation for that. I don't think it is specifically that, but there is an explanation for that. I'll go through them now.
I think that's one of them.
So he has longevity, which is just being able to live for flipping ages.
He's a bit like Wolverine, essentially, in that fashion.
Which is why they should switch. Yeah. Talk about that. Actually, he had 1 year, he actually had Victor Von Doom, or one of his little robots, take care of the toy drive for him. When Santa was injured the once, he melted his heart and said, oh, fuck, I'll do it. Shit. But yeah, so he has longevity. He has the ability to fit down any chimney and avoid fire. He can levitate up chimneys by usually touching his nose and nodding, and then he just whoop. He can alter the appearance of himself or other objects or beings. So in that X-Men story, he turned them all into toys. Yeah. He can change the size of other objects. That wasn't mentioned in any of these stories, I don't think.
Well, essentially, they both fall into the same power category, which is matter manipulation, essentially. So he's got matter manipulation.
So he can teleport himself and others across the world, which we saw in the X-Men one. Yeah. So that's how he sort of...
also matter manipulation, essentially.
Yeah. Damn. He can generate snow.
That's probably one of his biggest powers.
And there you go. He can generate snow. So is that matter manipulation?
That's either matter manipulation or he's doing weather manipulation, which is Storm's power. So he's got a bit of Storm's ability.
Also, I would love to see... I want to see a Christmas Santa Marvel movie.
But you could manipulate matter to make snow appear without clouds, say, like, because you're essentially changing water molecules in the air and going, there you go, a bit of cold, there you go.
Yeah. Well, you imagine if these were the powers of a sort of a regular superhero, let's say. Yeah. This would be an awesome movie. I would watch this, or like an awesome comic book.
You'd watch Marvel's Santa Claus.
I would love it. Marvel, if you're gonna make a new movie, please make Santa Claus.
To be fair, every studio does a Christmas movie. If you've already got one in your catalog of heroes,
You
you're
might as
Marvel,
well.
you can do it. Why not do a Christmas movie?
I would
That
love to
actually
see.
would be quite a good idea.
I would
for Marvel.
love to see that where it just
And you're Disney. You're already Disney.
exactly Disney plus Marvel Santa Claus. Let's do it.
Universe 616 Santa. Let's go.
I'll direct it. Don't worry. I'm real cheap. I'll do it.
What am I doing?
Santa who? Sorry, dude. I was drunk when I said that. And last but not least, he can determine who has been naughty or nice.
Oh, like divine judgment, essentially. Then.
Or it's just magic.
Well, you've got to break down all of his abilities and put it in. If you're going to put him in a comic book universe, you've got to break down how he's got these abilities, I suppose. Whereas in lore, he's magic.
Yeah, so I think we can break it down into he's magic.
And he's on mushrooms.
I mean, Ted, do you think he gets through it every year? Jeez.
Why do you think he keeps so many reindeer?
Oh shit. Well, with that was all my Santa Marvel goodness. Let's move on to our second fact, which is today I learned about the Middle Ages Christmas. I learned about sort of their
Middle
traditions
Ages.
around the winter time. So Christmas dates back to the 4th century when they properly announced it. Pope Julius I declared December
Christmas as in the
25th.
Christian version of
Yeah.
Yule celebrations, essentially.
Yeah, so Pope Julius I declared December 25th the date of Christ's birth, essentially,
Yeah.
and it gradually ramped up. It wasn't like it was done on the 4th century and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, that sounds pretty sick." Some people were like, "Stupid."
Well, yeah, you've got to remember that obviously it's not all actual history. It's set in stone. Like people had to actually convince enough people to convert to this fucking religion, and that this was the day of celebration. And it probably took a few centuries.
Well, it's like someone coming to your house and just being like, July 26th, it's a new Christmas. It's like, fuck off, mate. Jesus. So with this, there obviously came celebrations that were shared across Europe by the end of the 8th century. Yeah. When was America discovered?
17. Well, the
later.
Modern day America that we know now, this where basically the white people came in and fucked shit up, was the 1700s. There's evidence that
quite late.
There's evidence that the Vikings visited America long before that. I mean, we say discovered America and the Mayans and the Native Americans and all that other stuff have been living there for fucking. It had always been discovered. It was always there.
A whole new land that no one lives on.
We live here. A whole new land.
So in the 8th century, before all that went down,
Yeah.
they had 8 traditions. I think it's 8 or 9, and I'm going to go through with them today. So our first one is wassailing. Wassailing. So wassail came from the Anglo-Saxon greeting "wayshail,"
Anglo-Saxon, you say?
which meant be in good health.
Oh.
Wassailing was a pagan custom that was centered around hot mulled apple cider drink distributed during Yuletide.
I suppose that's where we get mulled wine and stuff from now then.
Yeah. And essentially, how you'd get it was carolers would take their wassail bowl door to door, which was
Your
filled
face
with
when
the
you
cider.
said that, you had a wassail.
Wassail. I just had a little bit of a stroke trying to say it. The thing is, actually, no, I know the answer. So carolers would go around with a wassail bowl door to door, which was filled with the cider, offering a drink and song in exchange for gifts, which I hope they gave to people.
Yeah.
Dude, because after you do that for a while, you got to have a stockpile in your room. God, this is a third Barbie doll I've got today. Fuck.
So it was more like Halloween.
Yeah.
Trick-or-treating.
I've got one like that for you later.
Oh.
We'll get into that.
Oh.
But our second one is sacrificing boars. So this was deemed a way to impress your guests over Christmas, as meals and stuff were less available. Well, meats and stuff were less available as they are today. You couldn't just go to Asda back then and get a
Liar.
yeah.
You're lying to me.
Walmart was around
Everyone knows
back then.
Walmart's been around for
Forever.
eternity.
Forever. Sponsored by Walmart.
And at the beginning of time, we existed.
In the beginning
Walmart.
of time, the Big Bang, a.k.a. Walmart.
Walmart said, "Let there be light," and cooled corridors.
and awesome Christmas jumpers. Have you seen that one where it's just a snowman snorting coke?
Mediocre pay. No.
They had to take them down, I think, because Walmart in America have sort of it's sort of like an Amazon thing where people can upload their own stuff. I think it's like they can upload their own clothing. I think Jake Paul did it as well.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And there was ones that were not so safe for work Christmas jumpers. Like there was one where there was a snowman snorting coke. I think there was one where there was literally blurred on the screen when I saw it because I think it must have been something sexual. But it got taken down, and one was like, "This is not what we are about.
This is not Christmas."
And then demand for these jumpers just went through the roof. People just wanted to buy them at any cost.
And Walmart went, "I'm afraid we're going to have to keep them. They're making an incredible amount of money."
This is what we're about, actually.
This is exactly what we're about.
We love it.
Down with everything.
Here's one for you, children. So essentially, with the sacrifice on a boar, people would serve up a boar's head with an apple in its mouth, which is where that comes from. That tradition sort of comes from.
Oh, look, he's hungry.
And dead. For families that weren't so well off, they would just have a pie in the shape of a boar instead. Which is just like
I was just imagining some really terrible looking boar pies.
It just looks like a cow insteed.
It's just a lump of shit. It's a boar.
It's a boar. Well, you wouldn't know after a few slices.
You're a boar, Timothy. Oh, I don't know why. I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know why I made the person who was supposed to be poor incredibly posh. You're such a bore, Timothy.
You're such a bore, Timothy. Now
I'm going to scrape the shit off my shoes
into your mouth. So, our next one. Our next one is King of the Bean. People may know sort of the Mardi Gras style of they have baby doll cakes. Have you heard of these?
No.
It's where they have baby dolls baked into cakes.
That's terrible.
I hope they're edible. But yeah, they have them baked into cakes. I don't know what reason. Maybe just so you can feel special because you got part of a baby's leg or something. Well, the original version of this was the King of the Bean.
Lost words.
Not the official name.
Is this where they would hide a bean in a stew?
Well,
and if you got the bean, you won the doll.
Well, in winter solstice, a cake containing a single bean would be served. Whoever got the bean was declared king for a year.
This is pretty sick.
I'm not sure of the logistics on what they got to do as king.
For a year.
Just King of England.
Total power.
Just one bean in the whole of the UK.
But if you drop the bean during that year,
death.
Fucking out.
Death.
You're out, mate.
Death. So you say it's awesome. After a year had passed, the king would be sacrificed and their blood spilled onto the earth to promote another year of good harvest.
Waiting to hear the downside.
Probably.
Well, that means that just gives you total reign to do whatever the fuck you want as king. Like, right, in a year, I'm going to be sacrificed.
Well, yeah, in a year,
you are
know
all
you're
footstools for the next year.
I hope you hate me by the time you kill me, because I know I'll hate you.
Let's give you a reason.
But when this was adopted as sort of a Christmas tradition, they stopped the sacrificing, obviously, and made the person king for only one day. I'm not sure if it goes on today. If any of you celebrate it, King of the Bean, which I'm going to do this Christmas for sure. Let us know. Let us know. So this is the one that I was talking about. That you were talking about earlier. This is jewel booking.
Right.
So imagine Halloween.
Yeah.
And like how kids dressed up.
Christmas.
Well, how kids dressed up and trick or treated and stuff like. One, it's fucking cold.
Have you seen? As an aside, have you seen Halloween costumes from like early Halloween costumes from like when we've got like photography and stuff?
No,
they were fucking hot. Everything was homemade and obviously
awesome.
They didn't have the materials. Like some of them ones I saw looked like Scarecrow from Batman.
Yeah,
it's like they'd look horrifying. Like they're actually creepy because they've made them out of like fucking potato sacks and shit. And
probably spent a lot of time on them.
Yeah, and they've like purposely made them like as horrifying as possible. It's not like, oh, go to the spoopy ghost. It's like,
I've come to murder you.
I've come to murder you and all that you love. Candy.
Thank you. Oh, it's got blood on it. So imagine the kids dressing up and trick-or-treating and getting candy. Now take that and replace the kids with drunk adults looking for treats, and you have jewel booking.
And you have an awesome time.
I'm going to celebrate it next year with or without anyone.
Butt naked drunk.
There were probably a few. It's actually not as popular today as it was years ago. I wonder why. But it's still sometimes celebrated by some Norwegian and in America of Scandinavian descent. So if you wanted to celebrate it, you know where to go. I think I'm going to join in next year. It sounds like a lot of fun.
I think you mean it sounds like
It's
a
just
lot of fun.
Candy.
Mhm.
There was 3. You just have 3 candy. So the mystery plays is next. The mystery. So this was a popular form of entertainment during the winter holidays.
I've heard of this one. Well, essentially, it's in the title, isn't it? A mystery play. Basically.
There wasn't a lot to choose from, but yeah, like it was a mystery play, like where the actors would perform stories from the Bible. But no story was off limits. So essentially, you'd have the nativity play at 1 minute, and after that goes off, you have the end of the world playing next, or some tragic event,
The Phantom of the Opera is here.
like a sacrifice or something. Just the nativity, sacrifice. And the next one we have is giving gifts to rich people, which we all love so much. So essentially,
Wait, giving gifts.
Giving gifts.
So
to
this
rich
was like
people.
people in there in indebted servitude who are like, "We love you, master. I made this out of my skin flakes. It's for you. It's a hat for your balls.
Oh, there wasn't much.
I didn't have enough for your head. Sorry, I'm starving. Please don't kill me. I love you. I just want to live another year to serve. I'm the king of the bean. And possibly take over and kill your family.
I love you.
love you.
Master. No, this was
This was much worse.
no, this is where people hated everyone. It's Earth, Howard. Everyone hates everyone.
Everyone is terrible.
So Christmas, as we know it today, is
Yes.
like the time to trade gifts and spread goodwill and generosity to people.
Or, depending on perspective, or
Death.
be a complete Scrooge.
Oh yeah, that too. But back in the Middle Ages, it was used to exploit the poor, as royalty would request tributes from their subjects. It wasn't sort of they wanted to give gifts. It was sort of they had to give gifts if they wanted to live to give a gift next year.
So it wasn't far off from what we were doing before.
Yeah. So, and eventually, sort of like even the lords of manors began requesting gifts from people, while the poorest people at the time received nothing in return.
You there, my land doesn't appear to be vast enough. I need yours.
I don't have anything.
Gifted
I'll
to
take
me.
that shoe. Thank you. You can give me the other one next year if you survive.
Don't need shoes. You won't have feet much longer, you fool.
Your feet look like shoes.
These are my
Disgusting.
feet.
Give it.
Give it to me.
I need another one for my collection. So yeah, so the poorest people would just get nothing in return.
Oh dear.
So it was
Except
just
for the gift of life.
Yay!
Fuck
me.
You kill me.
That-
I'll just be like, oh, fuck you, I didn't give you a present. Now you're going to stab me in the neck or not?
Go on, I'm the king of the bean. So that was until the 10th century when the Bohemian Duke Wenceslas the First, Wenceslas, sorry. Yeah,
Wenceslas.
thank you very much.
Or is it Wenceslas?
Wenceslas?
Now I'm doubting myself, you
Pencilus.
bastard.
Penicillin.
Yes.
Who became king after dying. Don't know how or why, but he became king after he died.
So there's basically weekend at burning him on a throne.
Yeah, pretty much. You there! My finger fell off!
You there! Moisturize me!
Just half his face falls off. Ignore that! Where's your gift?
Tis but a scratch.
So him and, along with other people, I don't want to discredit anyone else, gave out clothes, food and firewood to the less fortunate and sort of started to reverse the trend.
And were killed for treachery.
I'll take all that you gave away. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
And next one is the Lord of Misrule. This was sort of a
pretty
good
cool.
way to either make your party better or worse. What you have to do is you have to appoint someone the Lord of Misrule. I
Okay.
keep wanting to say misuse.
This sounds like a good Christmas party game.
It does seem pretty cool. But
a lot of people die.
that's not the worst part.
In fact, it's the best part.
Merry Christmas! Start stabbing someone.
Click, clack.
Where's my gift? So this person had to oversee the Feast of Fools, which was an early winter holiday that flipped the normal social hierarchy upside down. So,
Sweet.
So,
in fact, yes, no, I actually know this.
You know this one?
Possibly from like.
And he'd have sort of a court of people with him as well. So it wasn't just one person being a dick. So the Lord of
dicks.
So yeah, the Lord of Misrule and his court of merrymakers would parade down the streets wearing masks and playing instruments. They would end up at the church where the Falls would interrupt whatever service was going on at the time, and they'd just barge in, interrupt, and start singing songs and stuff like that. So I assume after a while the church got wise to it and just didn't hold any like important sermons while this was going on. Just 5th year in the row I've been in the middle of this. Why do I never learn?
All right, I'm a priest.
Oh gosh. Sorry if you're a priest. No, we're not. No, we're not.
The slightest. Fools.
Idiots. Will you never learn? Yeah, so... But the number one rule during the Feast of the Falls was to obey the Lord of Misrule.
Yeah.
Which usually consisted of drinking and eating more, so I don't think anyone was too displeased with this one.
Fortunately, they always gave it to the town drunk.
Unfortunately, they always
Everybody's
died.
drink!
Everybody... They're all dead. They're all dead.
Drink!
Alcohol poisoning. Just, there! And just no one says anything back.
I'll do it!
I'll do it! Yeah.
Jumps out the window.
Dies himself. Did it!
That was the end of the town of Wank Street.
Misrule. And our last one was gambling, where gambling was a massive staple of the festive period, which it still is, I assume. I think a lot of people, when they get together...
I bet you I'll make it through to next winter.
Not
I
with
bet
those
you won't.
3 chips. Fuck you, king of the bean.
I bet you I'll still have 3 children in the new year.
Amateur. Got 17. But yeah, so gambling would be a part of the festive period, as I say, which I think it probably still would be with lots of family getting together. You have the opportunity to play games and stuff like that together, where both kids and adults would take part. Even
starting them young.
Well, yeah, got to get him used to the rules, or else he'll die. Even people.
Well, to be fair, they didn't have much of a chance in the old days.
Well, yeah, they don't really.
When are we? The Middle Ages?
8th century.
Yeah, fuck it. You got to have all your fun now. You might be dead by the time.
Disney Plus is a way off. So even people who didn't gamble during the year would take part in this Christmas tradition. Everyone would just get involved. Yeah. As I say, I'm not sure what they actually gambled with. I'm assuming food and drink. I don't think they had chips.
I don't think they had any money.
No, there's
anything of value.
Shit, you can have this brick.
I pay you my brick.
I mean my dick.
That I can eat this whole chair.
Oh, now I have nothing to sit on. Guess I'll die.
Can I have that brick back to sit on? It was a good brick.
Shut up, loser.
Oh.
Their most popular games would involve dice games, and they would... so it wouldn't just
Where
be...
they would dice each other.
It wouldn't... Whoever lasted longest got to eat the meal. We can't afford to feed all of you, right? So
one of us has to go.
We've got these 2 maces. You figure it out. We'll start. Whoever comes back in...
First one
we'll
fully
celebrate.
diced goes in the stew.
Oh, delicious. Tender. So yeah, their most popular games would involve dice, not blackjack or anything, as they probably didn't have cards. And they would use any surface they could find, even church altars. They wouldn't really stray away from that, even though they're pretty religious back then. I guess that doesn't bother anyone. Well, with that gamble of a story, let's move on to another one. An awesome segue into my next fact, which is today I learned about winter traditions from today. So we've learned about them from the past. We've learned about the magical Santa Claus that can teleport you anywhere. And now let's learn about some of the winter traditions from around the world. We'll start off with Austria. I was about to say Australia. Austria. I'm pretty sure you've heard of Krampus.
Yes.
He visits children.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I was about to say "da," but that's Russian. He visits children a lot like Santa Claus does, but with a twist. Instead of leaving either coal or presents, he finds and punishes naughty children and even takes some of them away with him in his sack to never be seen again until next Christmas.
I assume he would take them to the workshop to work on
or their early grave.
Terrible gifts.
Their grave.
Or that.
Their grave.
Okay.
Yeah. So in Austria, and other parts of Europe, people would dress up as devils and witches in order to take part of the Krampuslav, essentially the Krampus run, which involved getting drunk, carrying torches, and scaring people.
There's a lot of getting drunk.
You know, that's what
And
Christmas is all
people.
about. That's what Christmas is all about. Scaring people.
And being drunk.
And scaring
Drunk
people. My favourite pastime. With Austria out the way, let's move on to Tibet. They celebrate Losar, which is the Tibetan word for New Year's. The celebration includes drinking chang, which is a fermented drink made from barley, millet, or rice grains, eating special noodles, dancing in costumes.
What's so special about the noodles?
They're tasty as fuck, boy. And on the last day, the Dalai Lama offers a sacrificial cake in the main temple.
I love how peaceful they are. A sacrificial cake.
Well, they had to swap it out for children
With
at some
dollops
point.
of ice cream.
That's why they had to swap the children out at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Might as well do it now. With that, let's move on to Guatemala, which I don't even want to butcher this one, but it's La Cuma del Diablo, which is the burning of the devil.
Yeah.
Held on December the 7th, where they burn papier-mâché devils and large effigies burn in the middle of the town.
I'm pretty sure that he'd feel right at home.
Yeah. He probably likes flames. He's pretty
Probably, they're
accustomed.
celebrating me again. Yay!
Yay! My loyal servants. Better recruit a few.
Krampus, get up there.
Yes, walk into the flame. The idea is to burn away the bad from the previous year and start a new rise, a phoenix rising from the ashes, if you will. It started. Ow! The embers. It started in colonial times where they would burn out the devil to make way for Mary, the mother of Christ, but they just sort of ushered her out the way and just made it the devil, or made her the devil. Who knows?
Shoo, you're not cool.
You're not the devil. You're not.
You don't
red.
even have horns. Get out of here.
Amateur. With that, let's move on to Iceland, where children would leave one shoe on their window ledge for 13 days leading up to Christmas. This was to bring the Yule lads to their house.
The
Yule lads! This was their version of Santa, which, before I get into this, what? So the 13 Yule lads are as follows. I'll rattle through these. December 12th. I'm not going to say the Icelandic names because I will completely destroy the country by doing this. So
you have the power of destructive words.
I
now.
am president.
Just call me Drumpf.
Even though no one from Iceland's listened to us, they will after this one. On December 12th, the sheep coat Clod, who sucks milk from sheep and has 2 wooden feet, comes.
Totally reasonable.
December 13th, which is Gully Gork, which hides in barns and steals the froth from milk buckets. December 14th is Stubby, who is unusually short and steals pans to eat crusts.
He's not unusually short. His name's Stubby.
I mean...
It's about right.
Everyone else is just called Tawley.
He's about right, sure.
He's about average size. Stubby.
For a stub.
For a nub. So he's unusually short and he steals pans and eats the crusts that are left over in them.
Thank you.
December 15th.
That's exactly what I needed.
Yeah. Well, as I say, like, what? Why would you want these instead of Santa? December 15th, Spoon Licker, who is tall and thin.
I thought you were addressing me, sorry.
He steals long wooden spoons and, well, licks them, essentially. December 16th comes the Pot Licker, who steals leftovers from pots.
Sounds an awful lot like Stubby.
And licks them. It kind of, yeah, well, he just licks them.
Is it just Stubby and a mustache?
This is not me. I am not back.
Give me your pants.
Bitch. Merry Christmas. December 17th, you have Bowl Liquor, who hides under beds.
Snow is top hat and a mustache.
Yeah.
And a monocle.
He just keeps adding one accessory each time. He comes back on December 25th.
No,
He's just
that
got
was my
15
brother.
coats on. He would hide under beds and he would steal from their main plates and eat from them. So, like, I don't know the word for it. I did cut it out because I thought I'm not going to...
A bastard.
I'm not going to say that. Your bastard bowl, give it. December 18th is Door Slammer, the loudest one. He slams doors, and especially in the middle of the night. It's just an excuse for the parents to walk around.
Yeah,
them.
just like walking around drunk.
Oh shit, that was my child. Where's the door? The December 19th, you'd have Skyer Gobbler, who is obsessed with the Icelandic yogurt Skyer, or Skyer. Oh, well, that's the
I
only
thought
way
it
I
was
can
going to be
think.
much cooler, and it was going to be something that, like, it would come at night.
He shoots
it
missiles.
It would, like, eat the sky.
That would be a lot cooler. I mean, if the sky's white, then it could be the yogurt, and it could be a metaphor for him eating the sky, if you want it to be.
No one puts enough thought into these things.
True. December 20th would be Sausage Swiper, who hides in the rafters and steals sausages.
You're right the first time.
Sausages. December 21st is the Window Peeper. He peeps in your windows and to see if there's anything to steal. December 22nd is the Doorway Sniffer, who has a large and long nose, amazing sense of smell, and seeks out Loughborough. I think it Loughborough. It's essentially like a flatbread with patterns in it. You'd put like a Christmas tree and everything in it. December 23rd would be Meat Hook.
Just don't make it on that day.
Yeah, like you think. Well,
just make it a couple of days.
Maybe
after.
it takes that long to make it that it only works on that day.
No.
No, just don't be stupid.
No, what?
December 23rd is the Meat Hook, who uses his hook to steal meat. And last but not least, we have the Candle Stealer, who, as you can tell,
steals
candles. Well, the candles used to be edible, so that's sort of belief why he used to steal them, which is why they're kind of fat.
So they doubled up as a meal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Delicious.
Okay.
Well, you can melt it. It's kind of like, well, imagine if you put a wick in chocolate.
If it's, no.
And then it had the smoky flavors of the fire. So instead of giving gifts and candies, which it didn't say anything about them giving candies or presents or anything, but I assume if they find something, they leave a gift instead. Because to me, these 13 guys just sound like fucking dicks, and you should get improved security measures in your home so that they can't come in. But, you know, maybe they leave gifts, which is why they leave the shoe on the window ledge. But
it sounds like a marketing ploy from a
shoe company.
Home security firm.
Oh, it kind of does, actually. Do you want these 13 guys coming in your house? No, we'll get a brand new CCTV system.
Then welcome to ADT.
They stay at AIDS.
No,
AID, yes. Wait, what was the what was
Hello, we're
the
the
acronym
AIDS home security system.
AIDS. But
Let us aid you.
So, as I say, instead of leaving gifts and candies to the naughty children, they would leave rotten potatoes in your shoes.
And you had to eat them.
I hope not. For everyone's sake, I hope not. But then again, they've gone through all this traumatic period of all these intruders. Rotten potato's not going to kill you. Next, we move on to the Philippines, where they have a giant lantern festival. I don't want to say this. Liglagan Parul.
What's the festival called?
It's called the Liglagan Parul Samparandu.
I am never remembering that.
Neither am I. The Giant Lantern Festival, we'll call it
there
for now.
There we go.
So it rolls off the tongue a little bit smoother. This is held the Saturday before Christmas Eve in San Fernando, the Christmas capital of the Philippines. So 11 villages come together and compete for the best lantern.
Yeah.
Originally, these would just like be simple sort of designs around 0.5 meter in diameter and made out of sort of origami paper. But nowadays, boy, they are like 6 foot massive lanterns that are made from a multitude of different materials and lit with bulbs.
They're like small hot air balloons.
Well, they're massive. They are huge. I wish I had a picture to show you, but they are huge.
But this is a podcast, you fool.
No one can sing. Or so you thought.
Excuse?
What?
Where we got?
Moving on, they're made of a multitude of different materials instead of just origami, and made out of massive like bulbs. They're huge, and this is a huge competition. People like travel from around the world
Sounds
to see
pretty
this.
cool, to be fair.
It does sound pretty awesome. I want to do a podcast episode where we do it in the middle of the crowd. Our next one, we move over to Mexico in the state of Oaxaca. Mexico.
Yeah.
Where they hold the Night of Radishes. It starts on December 23rd and lasts for 3 days. This is where people carve radishes is
Hey, you've been drinking.
radits and other vegetables, other sayings, usually to look like the nativity and other Mexican folklore from the period.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them look pretty freaking cool. So you imagine like just wood whitlands, but in vegetables instead. So it's a lot more colourful.
Imagine vegetable
brown.
whitlands.
Yeah. Our next one, we move over to Maryland, where some of our listeners are from.
Hello.
Where they
Merry
have
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Where they have the polar bear plunge, which is unfortunately not held in December. It's held in January, where 10,000 plus participants join in at this horrible, horrible tradition, where they jump into -1 degree or 30 degrees Fahrenheit water, wearing normal summer swimwear, and everyone who takes the plunge donates money to charity. So it's a good event. It's a good event, but no way would you catch me doing that shit.
To be fair, I think my sister sent me a link the other day where a bunch of people do it in Wales, I think it's Boxing Day or something like that. They'll go to like a beach and literally like get in the freezing water for charity. And and she was like, we should do this one year, and I was like, I'll support you.
We meaning
from
you.
a heated deck chair on the coast.
From the other side of England.
Well done.
I'll FaceTime you from Spain. So it's good. Talking about Spain, let's go to somewhere that's relatively close. The Czech Republic.
Relatively.
So it's on the same planet, let's just say that.
That it is. Well done.
Thank you. Where women would throw shoes at their house. This was to determine whether they would get married in the new year. So they would take, I think it's more like high heels. They would take one high heel and throw it at their house.
And if it's stuck in the wall or something, then you're going to get
There's
married.
just someone with 36 shoes in the wall going, fuck, maybe this year. If the shoe lands with its heels facing the house, they will be single in the new year. But if it doesn't, they will be married. Don't know the success rate of this, but if you know, let me know.
Okay.
And
or
last,
not.
And last but not least, this one's my favourite Christmas tradition because I actually want to take part in this. It's not really a festive thing. It's held in Japan, where
all the cool shit happens.
Well, Christmas isn't really celebrated in Japan. They have about a 1% Christianity rate. I'm
going to assume a lot of them are secularists, or
I don't know. I don't actually know. But this is a story of how KFC launched a Kentucky for Christmas campaign in 1974. And 56 years later, people still eat KFC on December the 25th. I did watch a video of someone saying that it was because they were Westerners in Japan who couldn't find a turkey or something there. So KFC sort of took the opportunity and jumped in and said, oh, we'll do it. They offer a lot of options. They have
I'm assuming they don't just do the deep fried chicken. They do like a lot of
plain
chickens
do
as
that.
well, I assume.
Yeah, but they have the premium range, which is a whole cooked roasted turkey. Chicken. I think it's a
chicken
roasted chicken.
They might do turkey, but I assume chicken to stay on brand.
And you get, I think you can get sparkling wine. They give you a plate in the bucket. They give you a salad. They give you a cake and everything. It's like a full meal. But if you want one, you're going to have to pre-order it months in advance because they go out of stock very quickly. And if you don't want to do that, you can wait several hours on Christmas Day for your actual Kentucky. So I recommend pre-ordering one. But I actually want to try that one of the days or one of the years at some point heading over to Japan. It's a very expensive flight though. But last on that story, I think the video that I watched abroad in Japan, if you haven't watched any of his videos, go and do it. He's a British guy who moved over to Japan with
So he's not
nothing.
abroad then?
Well, he is. Well, he's in Japan.
He
He's
moved?
abroad. I think he probably made the channel when he first moved over.
I'm joking, of course he is, but It's a.
It is home now.
I would have just said Westerner in Japan.
Yeah. I don't know if he knew how long he would stay there. I think he might have thought he was just going for a holiday. But he went over there and just knew nothing about Japan, knew no Japanese, knew nothing, and just went over there, became an English teacher, and gradually built himself up. And if you haven't watched his videos, he's got a big back catalogue, and I recommend him very highly.
Pretty sure I've seen some of his, actually.
You probably have.
Where he was talking about teaching in Japan, and he was... he shed some light on some of the things that maybe you wouldn't
They don't really
expect
swear
to hear. Yeah.
as much. I think that was probably his first video to go massively viral, is where he showed a lot of his Japanese students swear words, and they would try and put them into sentences. Very good video. I'd recommend that. But that's it. That's it for my facts for this Christmas special. Let's move on to my favorite section of the podcast: 3 real, 3 fake Christmas edition. Let's move on to my favorite section.
And 3 fake.
Welcome, Howard, to our second section of the podcast. My favourite, 3 real, 3 fake, where you've got to use your detective skills to see if I'm lying or not.
I'm Batman.
You ready?
Yes.
Or you could be Santa.
I'm Batman.
St. Nicholas. St. Nicholas.
St. Nicholas.
Christopher. St. Christopher. There you go. Something.
You're definitely something.
Yeah, it's someone. So... Merry Christmas! My first one for you is: man who was set free from prison after convincing police he was from the North Pole, arrested after killing 12 people.
True.
You want to say that one's true?
Yes.
Okay. My next one is: town accidentally invites everyone to take photos with Satan at their Christmas fair. Real or fake? Fake?
Yes.
Next one is: nursing home under investigation after forcing elderly residents to dress up as Santa and earn the home extra money.
Real.
Next one is: Grinch flicks cigarette on parade float, setting it on fire on the way to Huntsville Christmas parade. Fake. Next one is: 4 out of 10 Japanese homes are predicted to be subject to Christmas revenge treatment, causing panic in major cities. Real or fake? And my last one is: radio DJ plays Wham's Last Christmas 24 times in a row after barricading himself in studio.
Real, I've heard that one.
You've heard this one?
Yeah.
Okay, that one. I'll start this off then. So, that one is real, Howard. Well done.
Yay.
My next one is: a man who is set free from prison after convincing police he was from the North Pole, arrested after killing 12 people, is fake.
Oh.
That one's fake. The town accidentally inviting everyone to take pictures with Satan is real.
Oh, no.
Pardon me.
Pardon you.
The nursing home under investigation after forcing elderly residents to dress up as Santa is fake.
Oh, damn it. I thought that was real.
The Grinch flicks cigarette on parade. So it's between the Grinch and Japan.
Well, this one's real then.
So the Grinch flicks cigarette onto parade float, setting it on fire on the way to Huntsville Christmas parade is flipping real. So the 4 in 10 Japanese homes are predicted to be subject to Christmas revenge treatment. You can all rest easy. It's fake. Don't worry. Unless somebody makes it real after I said it.
Welcome to Japan.
Welcome to my reality. So let's go on to our first one about the radio DJ who played Wham 24 times in a row, and that's Joe Kohlhofer from the Sustrays Antennae Corinthia station, the SAC, the sax.
First time.
The sax. First time. Nailed it. He started his 8 a.m. Show, the drive time show, getting you ready for work. But he was determined to get all of his listeners into the festive spirit. The best way I can think how.
By horsing them.
Yes. So he told his co-host that he was going to be flying solo for this show. Then he blocked the door with a chair and he began to play Wham 24 times in a row. His co-host, who I presume this is,
was locked in the cupboard.
Patricia Jordan, watched on in horror as people were calling in, begging him to stop. She was just watching through the glass partition because they couldn't get in.
There must have been some people phoning in to egg him on, like, yeah,
I highly doubt that all of the callers were begging him to stop. There was probably like, yeah, fuck yeah, last Christmas. Start singing down the phone. It went on for 2 hours. This went on for a grand total of 2 hours. Not a long ass time, but I think you probably would have gone.
I was going to say, they sound pretty weak to me.
Yeah, you could handle two. Just change station. But
why turn it off, you pleb.
Why did he stop after the 2 hours? I hear you ask.
Why? Why did he stop?
Well, it was because his 4-year-old daughter came in. She came on the line and told him that she didn't like the song. She came in.
I hate you and I hate this. Make it stop.
Oh, okay. And just unbarricaded the door and left.
They put White Christmas on for another 28 rounds.
I'm not sure what's going to happen to Joe after this, but the radio station have come out and said that the whole thing was like unplanned. It wasn't a.
See, I would have just come out and gone. It was a stunt to drum up publicity.
Exactly.
You all believed.
Do you know what I mean? I've never heard of the sax before this. The sax station. However, the deputy program director, Tommy Schmidt, said he will face consequences. Apparently, 120 people called in during the stunt, and you can actually watch coverage of it. They uploaded it to their website and their YouTube.
People calling in and being like,
Christmas! I gave you my heart! But the very next day, I died! I don't think they actually put any of the calls on, unfortunately. I wish they would. I think they put his daughter's call at the end, just saying that she didn't like it.
Get off. Get off the radio.
But Joe himself has been posting some of the clips on Facebook with the caption saying, feeling proud. So it doesn't really look like anything serious is going to happen to him. He didn't drop the F-bomb or was racist or anything on the radio.
Just a bit of a dick.
He just played the same song over and over and over. So that's the end of that one. Let's move on to the town that accidentally invited everyone to take photos with Santa at Satan at their Christmas fair.
Was this
not the right way around?
Was this just a logistical mess up? They were supposed to have a Santa and they accidentally ordered a Satan.
A newspaper in a British Columbian town, downtown Courtenay, I think that's how you say it. Courtenay made an error on their Christmas advertisement. The advertisement read, Comics Valley Christmas Parade, Winter Wonderland Edition, 2 p.m, Sunday, December the 1st.
Includes free Satan.
Satan not included. Native Sons Hall, which I think that's where it was held. It says 2 p.m. Sunday, December the 1st, but like the gnarly Christmas craft fair starts at 10 a.m. and ends at 2. So what? I think that's when it ends, maybe, or something like that. I don't know what. But yeah.
You're supposed to be telling me.
Yeah.
Why are you asking me?
I'll leave at that time, not arrive. So the gnarly Christmas craft fair goes on from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Captain Thunderpants starts at 10:30.
Natch.
Pictures with Satan starts at 11:15. Check out www.downtowncourtenay.com for details.
I didn't realise we got a sponsor.
Yes. The Downtown Courtenay BIA was just as surprised as anyone else to find the typo in their local paper, in our local paper, should I say. The ad was not created by us or proofed by us, and it was an unfortunate mistake. That being said, we understand that these things happen, and we are happy that everyone knows when the parade is this year, said Executive Director of DCBIA, Catherine Thompson. So, as things are on the internet, people of Reddit got involved. And the username Smoky Limbs said, I am a citizen of Courtenay. Smoky Limbs.
Nice.
I am a citizen of Courtenay, and I demand to see Satan at 11:15 a.m.
You're going to say to the manager.
Fur nibble.
I thought we were talking to Karen.
Fernibble put, someone needs to get a Satan costume and show up to pose for pictures. Sir Ramen replied, I volunteer as tribute.
I'm sorry, did you just say Sir Ramen?
Sir_Ramen.
What fucking cool name.
I know, yeah, some of these well, that's why I kept them in. I just didn't want to put anonymous people from the internet. I was like, these names are awesome.
It is Sir Ramen.
Sir Ramen at your disposal.
Sir Ramen of Noodle.
I volunteer as tribute. And then Growth Oriented replied, yes! But did anyone actually dress up as Satan, Howard?
Apart from me.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they did. Tim Miller did. He dressed in his Christmas furs, face paint, and claws, and he was holding a sign that said, Hell froze over, so I moved to Comics Valley. He took pictures with a lot of people and made it a memorable occasion. You can actually, in the article that will be linked in the description, will have pictures that he took. I think there's like 18 or so pictures that he took. Pretty awesome. What an awesome dude.
Nice.
Made it epic for everyone. And our last, but definitely not least for the Christmas period, Grinch flicks cigarette on parade float, setting it on fire on the way to Huntsville Christmas parade.
I'm assuming this was unintentional. He was just like having a smoke and... I'm the real Grinch.
I don't want to disappoint you, Howard, or excite you, but we'll see.
You definitely don't want to excite me.
Because I might turn into the Grinch and burn you alive. There's a Facebook group in Alabama called the Lost and Found Pets of Huntsville/Madison County, which helps reunite lost pets with their owners. They have over 24,000 members as of now, and as of the article being written in 2016, they had over 5,000 success stories. So it's a respectable charity or group, or I don't know if it's...
I'm assuming it's just a Facebook group. No, I assume they're not funded either, so that's just pretty cool.
No, yeah, I think they must have just chipped things in together.
Pretty cool.
Well, in 2016, they had a float ready for the Huntsville Christmas Parade. It was a Whoville-style setup, as the parade was Dr. Seuss themed. On the way there, tragedy struck. And I'm sorry, I don't know if your name is supposed to be Janine, but it's spelled as Jean Ann Jackson.
No, Jean Ann, yeah.
I've never heard that before, but it's awesome.
It does sound like a name.
It just sounds like your parents couldn't pick between the two and just mash them together.
Jean Ann
Jackson. JJ. The creator of the Facebook group said, somebody flicked a cigarette and it landed in the straw on our float and burned it to the ground. My husband was driving.
And just everyone turns around and just what a guy standing there in a Grinch outfit. What are you looking at me for?
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Howard. The title was a bit clickbait. There was no one dressed as the Grinch, unfortunately.
Right, moving on
to the next section. She said, my husband was driving while I was having 30 fags out the back.
Excuse me, love? 30? It won't go.
You're a trucker. So my husband was driving and I was driving behind when I noticed the smoke, and other people did too. Luckily, several people came and helped us unload some of the stuff. We were able to salvage some of it, but the house we worked on so hard that that we were so proud of went up in smoke. So it was 3 months of hard work setting up this float. It was a handmade float. They didn't really have anyone come in and do it. They did it all themselves, up in a matter of minutes. Gutted.
Gutted.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry, but I'm the Christmas Grinch.
So it had $1,000 worth of donated gifts on board as well.
Okay. Okay, that's shit.
So
I really hope this was an unhappy accident.
I think it was more or less an accident, or just somebody being a complete dick. With the $1,000 worth of gifts, I hope they managed to get some of them off. They managed to get some of the stuff off. We had built a full-sized Who house with lights inside and windows that you could see trees inside. We had a smoking chimney.
We basically had a moving tinderbox.
We worked so hard, said
It wasn't a moving tinderbox, though. It was basically just loads of wood, smoke, and electric lights everywhere. And trees.
Yeah.
We put trees inside.
So he sort of just moved it along, didn't he, really, this guy?
He just
nudged it into the inevitable.
yeah. He's basically Just chaos.
Jesus. Oh, yeah, sorry. Or
Jesus.
chaos. Jesus. Merry Christmas. They managed to save some of the dogs, pigs, and other creatures that were made had custom thing costumes. I think are things the people in Whoville.
Possibly.
Bar humbug.
Yes.
Yeah. So they had custom thing costumes and wigs made for them as well. But they managed to save a few of them. They, however, made the most of a bad situation, these troopers, by putting all they could salvage onto another trailer and still going ahead with that motherfucking parade. That's what Christmas is all about. There is a GoFundMe that's still up. The last donation was like 36 months ago, so I don't know if they withdrawed it all now or if they're still taking deposits, donations. It was set up by Kerry Comey, which reads, "Let's join together and show our love and appreciation for this group and all they've done for pet owners and animal lovers in and around Huntsville. We can raise that $300 or maybe more to help them with their goal." It currently has $3,670 out of the $5,000 goal. So
okay.
They did pretty well. I'm hoping that they had another float that year, the next year.
Well done to everyone who donated.
Well done to everyone, and with the Christmas spirit, we missed it by 36 months to donate, but I think you can still donate if you want to.
I think they're all right.
Yeah, they probably made a few more. $300. How many years would that cover?
I assume they probably take
cover
donations on their page or whatever.
They probably do. And that's the end of our 3 real, 3 fake. Let's move on to Today I Fucked Up. Christmas edition!
Today I fucked up.
Oh, hello, bud.
Okay, Howard, welcome to our last section. Unfortunately, our last section of the podcast, of the Christmas special of the podcast of the world.
Renowned Clueless Internet.
I've gathered 4 stories for us to read. I do want to preface this with the fact that these stories don't necessarily have anything to do with Christmas. They just have the word Christmas in there somewhere.
Merry Christmas.
So if you want to start us off.
It's right. I'll interject just Christmas in there every now and again. For no
I would
reason.
expect nothing less.
I would. It's me. So today I fucked up by doing homework.
As we all have at least once.
So I usually have Mondays off. They haven't introduced who they are. It's just I.
They.
Yes. So I usually have Mondays off.
We'll just say it's you. This
It's
can just
me.
be you.
It's Howard.
It's
not
don't
because
have Mondays off.
It's not. I've just spotted the word Pornhub. So this is Alex. So I usually have Mondays
Hello,
off.
I usually have Mondays off.
And spend the day doing homework, tidying up, playing video games, and today, jerking off.
This is me.
I don't usually feel inclined to do this. However, today I had the urge. It was about an hour before my girlfriend got home, so I definitely had time. I go into my room and get into bed and start skimming through the old faithful Pornhub.
Hey, the old faithful.
The old faithful Pornhub.
Other sites are available. This is not a product placement. I would just like to say on the top of this story.
Go to what's another one?
X videos
X videos
or anything with an X in it. Fuck, they're all the same.
Yeah. I finally find a video worth being my L to. Am I just really old?
Being my L2.
Yeah.
It might be beating my L2. You may have missed out the T.
No, it's B.
Being my L2.
B-I-N-G.
Jerking his
like
penis.
Bing, but he's put a thing in it, so it's like being
Jerking his penis.
my
to
L.
The L being
The
his
fuck
penis.
is L? I thought L was a loss.
I mean, you'll lose something in the process, but...
I finally find a video worth being my L to and get down to business.
Maybe you meant busting my nut too.
Yeah, that's how I spell nut.
L.
El Nutto. As I'm about to, I get an alert on my phone that my girlfriend had just accessed the pet cam we have in our room that's on our dresser.
Oh.
Why do you have this? We got this pet cube camera for Christmas so we can watch our 2 dogs while we're at work /school/out.
I don't know if I actually added this to the bottom of the story. Just to preface this, he said that his dogs do sleep on his bed 90% of the time, which is why they put it there.
Yeah.
So they can just check up on him. But I don't know if that's at the end of the story. I may have cut that out so I could say it now. We
will see, won't we?
So I can get the credit for knowing it.
So, his girlfriend, he's got a notification his girlfriend's accessed this camera. So I immediately stop, now knowing that my girlfriend has just witnessed me jerking it midday, so I texted her. She doesn't answer for about 2 minutes, and then I see that she's calling me.
2 minutes? That's a lifetime. I expect him to say something like 2 hours. 2 minutes is nothing, my dude.
Minutes. Now we've been together 2.5 years.
So I texted, did you
So
enjoy
these
the
2
show?
minutes meant a lot to me. So this isn't like a make or break thing, and I honestly thought that although it was slightly embarrassing, it was also pretty funny. So I answer the phone laughing, ready for this to be something we joke about for a long time to come. Unfortunately, I was sadly mistaken to this being funny. She tells me that her co-workers, Howard, co-workers had asked about our dogs, and she wanted to show them our awesome pet cam.
Oh no!
But instead of
you saw a different kind of pet, love. That one was a different hair of its own.
But instead of 2 cute little dogs on the bed, it was me with my shorts down to my ankles, going down on myself.
Excuse me? He went down on himself?
No, he was going to town. Sorry.
Oh,
that was me projecting. So, needless to say.
Instead of seeing 2 cute critters, she saw my balls.
2 cute critters. So, needless to say, I don't think I'll be invited to any of their work Christmas parties in the future.
Who knows, dude? Well, you've shown them everything you could show. I mean, it can't get much more embarrassing than that.
I showed you the world, and it was my balls.
Hairy as can be, because I have puppies. Let's move on to our next fuck up, which is today I fucked up by getting hugged.
Awful.
I hate it. More like you fucked up for getting what?
How dare you?
They fucked up for hugging you.
Them.
I went on vacation with family over the holidays, so we were out of town for Christmas. We were gone for 10 days, and I never got the chance to jerk off on the trip.
Awful.
This is
awful. Worst holiday ever.
I just want to preface this by saying this is not a secondary theme to the podcast.
It's a primary theme to the podcast.
Secondary is Christmas. Merry Christmas.
And primary, as always, is masturbation.
Was there Christmas in that last story?
No.
Oh, no. Was there actually?
Oh, they got a thing for Christmas.
Oh, they got it for Christmas. Yay, drink.
Whoa,
every
Merry
time you hear
Christmas.
Christmas, you got to drink. It's just the
every time you hear Christmas, you got to drink. Christmas.
Three people died of alcohol poisoning tonight. We got back home late, around 1 a.m. So we all just bought out stuff. We bought our stuff. So we all just brought out stuff in and immediately went to bed. I assume we just bought everything in and immediately went to bed. The next morning, everyone goes out to breakfast, but I stayed home to sleep some more, is what I said. I actually wanted to stay home because I woke up with a massive hard-on.
Is it just me being old, or does I would have just actually slept?
It depends on the
getting
time.
old. I've just been like, no, I'm actually night.
Yeah, if it
I'll be
depends.
out.
It depends on what the time is. If it's something like pre-10 o'clock, probably I'd probably be asleep as well. I cannot fault you there. So he actually had a massive hard on, and I wanted a good amount of time to masturbate without being bothered.
Oh no!
Just. So I'm about 15 to 20 minutes in when my mom calls me. I take my hand off my dick and answer the phone. I can't be touching myself while talking to her. Lol.
Okay.
She tells me that Alison...
Yeah, no.
Yeah, don't do that.
That's just weird.
At least you've got morals, dude. She told me that Alison, a family friend, her and my mom go way back, is going to be stopping at the house to drop off some late Christmas gifts for us. So I have to answer the door / let her in, etc.
I'm still trying to figure out how to do it without taking my hand off my penis.
So I decided to grow a third arm and proceed the operation. I tell her, all right, and figure I have time to finish before I have to do this. Well, I'm just about to climax when the doorbell rings. Shit. Guess I'll take care of this.
Guess I'll finish.
Or both. Hello, Alison.
Why not both?
My third arm's not being utilized. Shit. Guess I'll take care of this and then finish myself off after. He just kills himself. I quickly put on a pair of sweatpants.
Fuck this.
Answers the door. Merry Christmas splattered across the wall. I don't get why he didn't just, finish, tidy up and then go and answer the door. I'm pretty sure.
Sorry, I was in the shower. Literally just put your head in the shower for 3 and then you get to the door. Sorry, I was in the shower, apparently.
Sorry, I was sweating really bad. Masturbate. I mean, fuck, Sarah. Fuck. Just finish off, dude, and she won't mind waiting an extra 30 seconds at the door.
Who needs Christmas presents?
When you've got your own presents. So I quickly put on a pair of sweatpants, pull the old flip and tuck, and put on a shirt. So he flips it in his waistband. I answer the door, and she immediately comes in and gives me a hug. Now, the shirt I was wearing was a little bit tight, so it wasn't the best fit. When I reached out to hug her, that pulled the shirt up a little bit, exposing the head of my erect and very sensitive penis. Now, there are a couple of things that come into play. She was wearing an extremely soft cashmere sweater. She hugged me very tightly and began to rock back and forth a little bit, as we hadn't seen each other in a very long time, and she's a close family friend. She won't be after this. So
now she's a really close family friend.
Really close. So after a few seconds of this, I feel my cock starting to twitch, and I realize she set my virgin. She set my.
Can't even finish that word.
She set my virgin dick over the edge. My brain begins to cloud as the orgasm quickly builds, but I
totally beat my L.
You will in a minute. I pulled away from the hug, and just as I started coming, but it was too late. Keep in mind, I hadn't came in 10 days, so this was a huge gasm. I grunted an apology as my dick sprayed her and myself with man chowder. She was extremely...
Nice choice of words.
She was extremely taken aback, but she just went to the bathroom and tried to clean it off as best as she could. I apologized profusely and told her I wasn't sure what happened. I don't know where that came from.
I don't know what happened, even though I totally know what happened. We both totally know what happened.
Do it again. She said it was fine. The real fuck up was that a week later she called me and told me that I had to buy her a new sweater because it was a gift from her husband and she didn't want to explain what happened. Plus, you can't get cum out of cashmere. Oh, gosh. Hello, Neelix. The podcast cat.
The podcat.
The podcat. So the next one is, today I fucked up by going on holiday. I really hope this isn't a jerking off story. I can't remember.
They're all jerking off.
My partner, Ali, and I decided it would be a good idea to take a holiday before things got crazy at Christmas time.
Christmas time.
My best mate, Dan, had been talking for ages about taking a holiday, so we got together and planned a week up the coast in a little 2-bed, 1-bath Airbnb overlooking a beach. Nice. Oh, yeah. Dan had only just started dating his girlfriend, Lisa, a month prior to the holiday. I had got a feeling... I had got the feeling a couple times that she didn't like me, but I had no idea why. Because I came on a cashmere sweater. So time comes for the holiday. I drive everyone up. We arrive, no problems, unpack, make the 30-second walk down to the beach and swim. All good.
Nice.
We go out for a nice dinner and then retreat to the beach house for some quiet drinks and then bed. Holiday is off to a cracking start.
Sounds good.
Next morning rolls around. I wake up alone in bed. I figure Ali was abducted by alien. No, I figured Ali must have gotten up early to take a shower and have breakfast in the spaceship. I make my way out to the living room / kitchen area and no one is around. I can hear the shower running through the bathroom door, not the bedroom door. I knock to Dan and Lisa's door. No answer. So I peek in and then
like a little duck.
And they're abducted and they're gone. Figure they must have decided to go for a walk along the beach. Feeling a little cheeky, I grab my towel, strip down, and make for the bathroom.
So it's another masturbation story.
The door's unlocked. Sweet. I sneak in.
What threads are you on?
This isn't a masturbation story, I can promise you. I sneak in, shower curtain is closed, and I can hear a woman humming a tune inside. I drape my towel on the rack, my penis, pull back the curtain, my penis, ready to jump in, my penis, and surprise, Ali. Oh, I read that completely wrong.
Alonzi.
And I surprise Ali, and boom, there's Lisa, with her back to me, lathering shampoo through her hair. She hears the curtain go and turns to look at me. With my knife in hand, I stab her to the nose. We just stand there awkwardly for about half a second, which felt like an hour. Suddenly, reality kicks in. I attempt to cover my eyes and privates at the same time. Lisa screams and tries to pull the curtain shut.
I poke my eyes out and grab my balls.
I poke my balls out and grab my eyes. Lisa screams and tries to pull the curtain shut. She slips on a shampoo bottle and smacks her head against the soap tray.
Hell.
If she didn't hate me at first, she does now. I had to help her naked.
When she wakes up.
Yeah, when she... I had to help her naked and semi-conscious out of the shower, wrap her in a towel, and sort out a nasty lump on her head. He just hammers it down. Pops up in another place.
I didn't expect this to go Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I did. Turns out Dan and Ali had gone down to the local cafe to grab us all coffees, and Lisa had decided to shower while they were gone. 1, lock the door.
Yeah.
If you know it's just you and somebody who isn't your partner in the house, lock your door, dude. So yeah, the next 5 days went really great. Ali wasn't overly impressed about it all, but Dan thought the whole situation was hilarious, despite Lisa's mental scarring. I've avoided making eye contact.
Physical.
To me and my balls. I've avoided making eye contact with or speaking to Lisa ever since.
Oh, no.
A great story, a great family story, and
one you can read your grandchildren.
One you can read your children now. I'm going to premise this one with saying I can guarantee wholehearted preface this. Do I keep saying preference? Premise. What is it? Preface. I'm going to premise this. I'm going to preface this one by saying that this isn't a masturbation or dirty story at all. I can promise you this. But this is a long story.
I should hope so. This appears to say, today I fucked up by trying to speak to grandma.
I mean, we've had
Pop on the beginning, my penis. Okay, no.
Well, we did have the story before where someone jacked off to the grandma, so I wouldn't put it past myself.
I wouldn't put it past you either.
Nope, neither would I.
You...
Rapscallion.
Scaprallion. So, part 1, the beginning.
Of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
About 3 years ago, I got a message from a girl who has the same last name as me. We aren't related, and I wasn't really interested in small talk, but she insisted. Let's call her Sandy. So
Cheeks. Cheeks. I took a drink then. Cheeks. Sandy Cheeks.
Damn it, too late.
I'll get it in there somewhere.
So I responded as an uninterested guy would, with short and broad
Fuck
answers.
You. Stop messaging me.
How did you get this number?
Oh, number, yeah.
She would No, it's messages. So she would message me daily, and conversations would always go like this. Sandy, hey, what's up? How's your day? You at work? Me? Yes. Sandy. So, have you any plans this weekend?
Just turns into the Joker.
Yeah.
How was your day?
So, have you got any plans this weekend, Bats?
Any buses to hijack?
Me, probably busy. Why would you say probably? That's really like passive aggressive.
Yeah, probably busy. Don't make
Probably busy. Why would I ever want to spend any time with you, the likes of you?
Probably, yeah, comma. Fuck you, stop messaging me.
Hey, I hate you. So, Sandy, we have the same last name. We should hang out. Me.
Don't be stupid. What? Sorry, what?
And it would go like this daily, every single day.
She's persistent, isn't she? Jesus. We have the same last name. Let's hang
I
out.
get it. We have the same last name. Leave me alone. So eventually, I decided to do something about it.
Kill her and take the name for myself.
Part 2, the grandmother.
Oh.
Wait, wasn't that part 1? One sec.
No,
that
part
was
one
the
was
beginning.
the beginning.
One day she messaged me and told me that her grandmother had passed away.
Shit. Well, rest in peace.
Rip.
Pepperonis. Rest in pepperoni.
Now, I may be rude, but I'm not heartless.
So I said, fuck you, stop messaging me.
I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm heartless, but I'm not rude. No, still wrong. Now, I may be rude, but I'm not heartless. I expressed my condolences. We talked a bit, and Sandy informs me that her grandma had actually passed away a couple of years prior.
So not recent.
She never said it was recent in her message. She just said that she messaged me and told me her grandmother had passed away.
What a weird way to open the question. How's your day gone? Oh,
my grandmother died. Oh, I'm so sorry. It was ages ago.
Just thought I'd bring it up.
I killed her.
The ice has been broken.
I'll never understand why on God's green earth she decided to tell me this.
Neither will I, my dude. Neither will I.
But then she broke the even more jaw-dropping news. Their family is going to see a medium to communicate with her.
Hell yeah.
Bingo. I had my opening. Why did... Part 3, the mistake.
Bingo.
I'll just cut to the chase. While on Facebook Messenger, I told Sandy that I was a medium.
Not a full. Not a... nothing.
I'm not a big lad. I'm not thick. I'm a medium. No, I told Sandy that I was a medium. The people who can...
Oh, yeah, I know.
Parasensitive or whatever.
I just thought you meant in shirt size.
And by parasensitive, I mean like they parachute into places and cry.
Awesome. Sounds like me in social situations.
Here I come to cry again. So I told Sandy that I was a medium and could find out about her grandmother. Am I really a medium?
I'm really a medium, I promise.
Am I really a medium? Of course not. Is this a horrible thing for me to do? Well,
of course not.
Yes. Why did I do this? No idea. But it was an adventure. First, I did my research and found the obituary online.
Hell yeah.
So I knew the exact date of her grandmother's passing.
Oh my god, he's proper digging into this. I thought he was going to go through like the Medium 101 book on how to fool people.
No, fuck that. He's going through the Medium 101 book. No, yeah, he's doing exactly what mediums do. Sorry.
Just going through information.
If you've ever seen Derren Brown basically just destroying what mediums do for a livelihood, it's beautiful.
We would recommend it.
I think it's on Netflix. So he's doing his research. He's found her obituary. He knows the date of her death. I had to beat around the bush. I said it's sort of like she must have passed to the other side while the leaves turn lighter shades of orange. I don't know, just spicing it up.
Oh, nice. Nice. I would have just said her exact date.
She died in November.
15th.
It was cold.
12 o'clock. In my basement.
Then I managed to successfully guess her grandmother's favourite flower, a yellow rose. The fact that her grandmother often knit her mittens for Christmas, pretty common among grandmothers.
I can attest.
The fact that her grandmother had an assortment of flower-painted chinaware. You know, typical grandma stuff.
Yes, with yellow roses on.
Probably.
I assume.
But Sandy was actually 100% convinced that I knew her grandmother and could communicate with her spirit, because Sandy's
An idiot. I mean,
very eccentric.
yes.
Sandy started to ask me stuff, and by golly, I somehow managed to get most of the questions right.
She was a woman.
Well done.
You knew her.
See, she had a vagina.
5 for 5. She's dead. 6. We were best friends.
Sandy started to ask me stuff, and by golly, I somehow managed to get most of the questions right. And when I didn't, I was pretty sly and clever, like this. Sandy.
I ran out of the room screaming.
I'm a medium!
Where's the bathroom? To Google more information.
I gotta do a large pee! So, Sandy, what did she get me for Christmas in 2009?
I don't fucking know.
Me. Mittens. Handcrafted mittens. Sandy. Oh my God!
You lucky son of a bitch, and she gave her. Oh.
You son of a bitch. I'm in.
Them.
Oh my God, she gave me a handcrafted scarf. Not gloves, not mittens.
Not mitten, so he's completely wrong.
It's completely wrong, but she's like, you're actually communicating with her. And I said, well, yes.
I'm sensing that on your 16th birthday, she got you a car. Oh my God, yes, she did get me a frying pan.
I had her thoroughly convinced. But then, out of nowhere, she told me that her mother was watching us online. And her mother was the one asking many of the questions. Not
no.
Sandy.
Oh my God, she's like a double agent. She's running an FBI scheme to take down these mediums. Oh my gosh, after they're sorted out, they just get shot in the head. Another one down.
I'm a medium.
Not anymore.
Now I'm a large. Where did I get to? And her mother was asking many of the questions, not Sandy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I decided now was a great time I decided now was a great time to somehow back out of the conversation and never look back. I made the mistake of being honest. And I was like, yeah, anyway, I'm just joking about being the medium. But Sandy responded, my mom is very upset with you.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And I was like, sorry.
This is like murder scene.
She responded, again, my mom is very upset with you.
I would think I'm in the middle of this murder trial at this point if someone said that to me. Oh my gosh. I'm imagining the
And
two
I was
girls
like,
in The Shining.
Sorry.
Sorry
was
about
trying to be funny.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It was a prank, bro.
A prank. Part 4. The chase at Walmart. This story's got everything in them. The good news.
Except explosions. Yet.
The good news, if anything, is that Sandy stopped messaging me. A few days passed, then a week, and still nothing. Keep in mind, I've never actually seen this chick in person. I just know she's from my town.
Oh, so we didn't
They
go
must have
to
been.
her house.
They must have been
Over
like
Skype.
over Skype or something. Yeah. Until I saw her in Walmart.
Oh no. Oh no. So they do live close as well? Oh no. Unlucky for him. She should have been from like England or some other country that he's not from.
They were
Across
probably
town.
just across town talking online. Now, I've never experienced primal fear. I immediately dropped to my knees and shit myself.
Does he actually say that?
No. You know,
Yet.
the kind of fear where you actually pee a little and go to the bathroom just to throw a little water on it and make it look like you spilled a drink.
Yeah, we've all done that. Oddly specific.
That was very specific. But yeah, so that happened on this day. I saw her in Walmart and she saw me. She was actually with her mother. I knew they recognized me from my profile pic, and they started coming towards me. I'm not making this up. I dropped what I was carrying and ran out of Walmart. They followed. I got into my car, put it in drive, and floored it out of the car park.
Into a lamppost.
I saw them get into a red car and began following.
Oh my gosh.
I honestly don't know this family at all. They could be complete psychos. I mean, they are complete psychos.
They are complete psychos.
They turned onto the road behind me, and since there's 2 lanes, they tried to speed up next to me. But then, red light.
But then Need for Speed kicked in, and I flipped my car 360 degrees to crush hers.
As I slowed, they had no other place to go than right next to me.
Oh no, I can imagine. Oh no, I can imagine how awful that would be. I want him to have a cardboard cutout of their grandmother next to him in the seat.
And him just sitting in one of those really goofy Tyrannosaurus Rex outfits.
Yeah.
And then they just like, and just drive by like in a cartoon.
Yeah. And then he pulls out a Glock and kills them all.
As I slowed, they had no other place to go than right next to me. It was a beautiful day, so I had my windows down. I was blasting some sort of rap, probably, and I swear I could hear them yelling at me into my car.
Oh no.
Trying to get my attention. So I just ignored them and put on some sunglasses.
Awesome.
I haven't heard or seen them since.
Awesome. Is that the end of it?
That was the end.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm surprised how did he get away? Did they just eventually just give up?
I think they must have just given up.
Yeah.
I would have thought they would have followed
Damn
him.
it, he can't see us. He's put sunglasses on.
He went
It's
forward.
like we're invisible to him now.
Or he's invisible to them and go, where did he go?
Where? Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Ghost car.
He just turns into John Cena. You can't see me. Gets out. Just gets out, wrestles the mom. KO! That's how I hope that story ends.
It better.
It motherfucking better. Well,
Write in and fill me in.
that'll be it for this episode and this year. Thank you for listening to the Christmas edition of the Clueless Internet podcast.
Merry Christmas.
You can check out all the links to the stories at cluelessinter.net. You can follow us at cluelessnet on Twitter. You can email us at podcast@cluelessinter.net. We'll be back after the Christmas break. We hope you have a good holiday.
Is that? We can do better than that.
Merry
We hope you have a fantastic
Christmas!
holiday and a wonderful
New Year.
Now fuck off.
And we'll be back. And we'll be back in the new year at some point. So yeah.
Love you.
Fuck off. I mean, yeah, love you.
Fuck you.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
What episode is that from? That one's from. Is that the roller derby one? Where Marge is.
It's a monster truck one.
That's it,
Marge
yeah.
is driving monster trucks and Homer has to go and get her.
He has to save her, doesn't he? Because she's just getting rammed by.
Kids, beer me.
Fuel from me mule, gas from me ass.
Yeah.
Somebody took me Marge.
Are you excited for the new Star Wars movie, or are you not too fussed? Are you part of the crew who's
I always
slightly given up?
I always like a Star Wars movie for just the spectacle and the fact that it's a sci-fi movie. I always love a good sci-fi movie. But this trilogy's just been disappointed. It hasn't been, and it's not, and my argument isn't the same as most people's, which is like, oh, it's all, they're trying to do this, they're trying to make Star Wars this like SJW like paradise thing. It's like, they're not, they've just done what everyone else has done, which is moved with the times. We've got some female leads and stuff, and it wasn't all that bad. It was great. Some of the new characters, to be honest, the characters are the best bits of the new films.
Some of the characters, is it
It's
Rey and
it's the narrative that's just a complete fucking mess. They don't know what they're doing, and they've been directed by different directors. So the first one was Forehead Man, who did Star Trek for the latest ones. J.J. Abrams. He did the first one.
Hasn't he come back for the latest one?
Yeah, well, he did the first one, and then the mistake they made was giving the second one a different director. He should have just done it all the way through.
I know who
because-
you're on about. I know who you're.
It was
Sean
Ryan Johnson, the second
Ryan,
one.
that's it. Ryan. Sorry, not Sean.
And he kind of retconned stuff from like not even from Star Wars, just like, which is fine. You can retcon stuff if you want to evolve the canon, but he retconned stuff from the previous fucking movie, so like things didn't add up from the last movie.
You can't do that, really.
Yeah, all of a sudden things were, and it just felt really misguided. It didn't feel like the trilogy has got someone looking over it, making sure it's got a clear narrative all the way through.
Like a Kevin Feige or the DC TV show.
Yeah, so already the first two movies have been confusing because they've kind of just like nullified each other, and then the third one, apparently, from what I've heard, is a bunch of stuff from the second movie is now just like retcon out, because it's like, well, J.J. Abrams was like, I didn't want to go in that direction, I wanted to go in this direction, so J.J. Abrams just course corrected and went, we're going in this direction now. So
Fuck your movie.
So apparently, like, this movie didn't help clarify the trilogy. All it did was made it more like, oh,
we're gonna go this way, but
Yeah.
it's the back.
well, number three is
Just to clarify, I've never watched any Star Wars.
Well, The Force Awakens was a massive overcorrection from the prequels. Everyone complained about the prequels. It was too much narrative, too much dialogue, too much politics of the, like, giving you, like, creating canon and backstory. It was like, it's all a bit nothing happens until the last movie, which is probably quite a good movie, actually. But it's the best one of the trilogy.
Is that the original trilogy, or is that the reworked one?
Well, the original trilogy...
Was it reworked by George Lucas?
It was reworked by George Lucas, but they're essentially the same films, but with a bunch of crap CGI added. So the prequels were the movies George wanted to do originally, but they weren't exciting enough for the studio. So the studio, like, can you go in a different direction? He went, yeah. But instead of going in a different direction, he just kind of jumped forward in time through his story and went, okay, this is where the characters are now. Because it was always supposed to start with Anakin, essentially. So they just jumped forward and went, okay, this is Luke, his son. And they go through all this stuff. And then the
Oh, so Luke is Anakin's son.
Yeah.
That shows how little I know.
Anakin Skywalker, Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
Essentially, that was more exciting, more actiony. So it was essentially supposed to be quite a slow build.
Yeah.
Of like long series of films, but instead he did the three and then didn't do anything. And then they didn't touch Star Wars much, other than like animated properties and stuff and computer
and the
games.
Christmas special
And books and stuff. A lot of books and comics and stuff until the late 90s, where they did the prequels, which is where they basically go and do the original films George Lucas wanted to do. So they go back in time and you meet Anakin as a small kid, and obviously he then grows up to be Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you told me about that, and I was like, oh, shit, as if Anakin is Darth Vader. Spoiler, that is Darth Vader.
Well, it's hard to be spoiled when I remember the promotional poster for the episode 1 is a child Anakin standing in the desert, and his shadow being cast his fucking Darth Vader shadow, and it's like, well, that's cleared that up. And that was promotion.
I wonder what...
That was promotion for episode 1. I was like, all right.
I wonder who he could be in the future.
So that was spoiled for everyone the moment the fucking promotionals came out. I mean, deep set fans knew that Darth Vader's name was Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
Anyone who was a casual just kind of walking in wouldn't have particularly known that his name is Anakin. It would eventually, you get to episode 3 and then, oh shit, it's...
Well, I didn't even know that until like last week when you told me, so I've been completely out of the loop when it comes to Star Wars.
So the prequels are worth watching through to get to episode 3, and which is a nice lead into the original films, which are probably the best still, next to The Mandalorian, which is
I've
the best Star Wars property I've seen them create in years.
Well, I've come in to The Mandalorian, so watching this sort of makes me want to go back and watch all the way up to the latest ones. Maybe apart from the newest one, because it hasn't received the best reviews. But reviews on everything. I've seen plenty of films where the reviews have been pretty terrible, but I've enjoyed them personally. I don't think I'm very hard to please. Movie studios, if you're listening, I'm not too hard to impress. when it comes to films.
But to be honest, I'll always love a Star Wars film just for the spectacle, the awesome. Like I've always loved like the whole idea of lightsabers. Their ships are always really cool looking. Like probably one of the most ominous and best looking ships ever created is the Star Destroyers. Those big triangular ships that you always see.
Yeah,
you see everything based off. Even in like No Man's Sky, you've got some of the freighters are designed to look exactly like a Star Destroyer.
Yeah. Well, if you're someone like me who isn't really or hasn't been too much into the narrative of the whole thing, if you wanted to just watch it just to watch stupid, fun, crazy space battles, it's brilliant. It is a brilliant entity to watch.
If you like that, then if you liked the universe that the Mandalorian has kind of introduced you to, you'll like the films. Like they're not the new ones aren't the best films in the world. They aren't even the best Star Wars films, but they're the same visually and like they've always been fun. They're always fun to watch. They're not. It's
not like a drama, is it? It's not like a hard drama. Well, you have your elements.
If you're a fan looking for consistency, these films will have disappointed you essentially.
Yeah,
they're not consistent essentially, but if you watch them standalone, they're great. They're massive, like space spectacle movies. So
that's what I like to do over the course. Anyway, I'll have one or two more, and then we'll get
into it. Oh, we'll do a bit of room silence.